Greetings and welcome to our series of weekly devotionals. This week we're exploring different themes that are found in selected verses of Psalm 26. And today I thought I'd begin with a little movie review. One of the scariest movies, probably the scariest movie I think I've ever seen in my life, was a movie called The Exorcism of Emily Rose. It came out about maybe 15, 17 years ago. It told a story of demonic possession and this exorcism by a Catholic priest of this young girl named Emily Rose. And during the movie, there were certain scenes where the Catholic priest was trying to perform this exorcism. And I was reminded that in the Catholic faith, that's a very real thing, that there is actually a rite of exorcism that's still in the catechism of the Catholic Church. And for Catholics, the presence of demons, the presence of the devil, Satan, is very much real. Satan is a real person, a real physical being. Other Christians might believe that Satan, the expression of Satan in the scriptures, is just a symbolic representation of the evil that is made manifest in the world. I'm not really sure exactly what is true or not true in terms of that. But theologians, Christians for thousands of years have been wrestling with the problem of the existence of evil in the world. The great father of the church, St. Augustine, of course, came up with the doctrine of original sin, that we are all born as flawed, imperfect, sinful creatures. And of course, this paves the way for the possibility of evil acts in the world. But, of course, I think when we try to explain or wrestle with how evil exists, why evil exists, how it has come about, why it exists in the world, how it is made manifest, we don't really know for sure. But I think it's safe to say that acts of evil people have done some pretty evil things and continue to do evil things, terrible things to one another. There is evil in the world. And I think the pressing question as people of faith is, what do we do about that? How do we respond? And the psalmist in Psalm 26 writes, I hate the company of evildoers and will not sit with the wicked. And scholars suggest that the psalmist writes in Psalm 26 of ways in which people of faith are to wrestle with, deal with the existence of evil. And it's in sort of a couple of different ways of approaching this. And the first is that as people of faith, we avoid evildoers. We avoid acts of evil. We avoid doing evil things. And so there's this sense of separateness as people of faith. We separate ourselves from evil. But at the same time, it is not to sort of escape or deny the existence of evil. It's not to sort of avoid evil, but it is simply to avoid doing evil in order to testify to the way of faith, in order to testify to an alternative way. And I think certainly the same is true of Christian teaching and the Christian message, that we can't escape the realities of the world in which we live. It's true that there is evil in the world, there is sin in the world that is sort of not debatable. But as Christians, certainly we try not to conform to the ways of the world, but we live within the world. And we live within the world to testify to and to give witness to and to practice an alternative way of being. And as Christians, we give we are called to give witness to a way of love and compassion and kindness, a way that is contrary to the ways of the world. And so as the psalm teaches, so our Christian faith teaches that when it comes to sin, to evil, to the ways of the world that do not conform to our faith, I think we might reflect on this calling that we are to be in the world, but not of the world. And I think if we can do those things, then we can live out our Christian calling to live within the world, but to testify to another way of living, another way of being. Amen.